On this episode, we're in Hood River, Oregon, where we just hit up Post Canyon. Now, this is some of the Northwest's most extreme outdoor riding trails. It's big air, big jumps, big drops, and things get a little bit crazy right now on the Wildlife.
This is single-handedly the most extreme thing I have ever done in my life.
And this is the view from the top of Monkey Fish.
The most prehistoric fish that we can even think of right now.
There we go, it's done! That is one big Dungeness crab.
All over the place. That's all I can do just to hang on. This is the Wildlife.
The Wildlife is presented by Next Adventure.
We're here in Post Canyon, just outside Hood River, Oregon, home of the best outdoor riding trails in the Northwest, where we are literally gonna fly on two wheels. With a little bit of courage, some acrobatic skill, and a dose of what am I getting myself into, we're gonna glide through the trees and hopefully not become an ornament. We're taking on the extreme sport of free riding. The goal of free riding is to feel the freedom of the trail while creating style and tempo. A good chemistry between you, the bike, and the trail is key to having fun and being safe. This right here is the pump track. Now it looks like a bunch of little bunny hills in a circle, and that's basically what it is. The concept is to be able to go all the way around the track without pedaling, which is the essence of free riding. So I'm gonna do it a couple in one direction, a couple in the other direction. Get my bike ready. What we've got to get out of the pump track is a strong feeling for the unexpected and what the trail can throw at us. Right before. Solid speed and bike control need to be established.
Let's try this one more time.
This pump track allows you to hit the ground running or rolling.
And that'll get you through those sharp corners. Starting to feel out the rolls a little bit more comfortable on the bike. Body's definitely getting warmed up. Yeah, and as we progress through the stages, the tracks are gonna get higher, steeper, and faster. So I feel good right now. It's time to head to the next challenge where I'm gonna work on my balance.
Post Canyon consists of tight ramps and bridges that you hit at various speeds. If you don't have balance on the bike, you don't make it across.
And this is my next challenge as I progress my way up to bigger stuff. This is a single skinny track. So the idea is to get a lot of speed coming into this, come up on this ramp and stay all the way on this track to the very end. And it's very skinny. It's about 2 or 3 times the width of my tires. So you've got to be really focused and really dedicated to what you're gonna do, or you'll just fall off the other side, and sometimes that's not so pretty. And I'm on a single suspension bike right now with suspension on the front, and it's a hardtail as opposed to having suspension back here. For the pump track, something like this is good because it absorbs a lot of that heat and a lot of that inertia going down and back up out of the turn instead of just kind of absorbing it and letting it fall to the ground. For something like this, I want stability, I want this bike, and I want to complete this. Here we go. All right, try it again. Okay, focus. The skinny track, you want to look farther ahead to keep your balance, because right here you lose all of that speed. Now I want to look as far ahead as possible to keep my balance so that I can finish the skinny track. And that's basically what it is. There's a delicate balance between too much speed and losing control and just enough speed, because speed equals balance in something like this. Looking ahead of you, because it does you no good to look right in front of you, you're already there. So focus, that keeps your body balanced, and you can go right through this track. And this is relatively short. There's some that go way around in big circles with jump ups and step downs. We completed this step. Let's go.
Coming up on the Wildlife.
Oh,
The Wildlife is presented by Next Adventure.
I've got pro free rider Shane McKenzie with me, and he's gonna be showing me the ropes out here in Post Canyon. First, I have to ask, like free riding, it's like this idea of like getting big air, big jumps. Like, what's the big appeal for you?
You know, I came from a BMX background where everything was pretty structured, and you know, you ride skate park, street, and whatnot. Free riding, you take the aspects of skate park, street courses, and you throw them out in the woods, and you can do whatever you want. I mean, there's no limits.
What's the big thing about Post Canyon that you love?
You know, I come from a dirt jump background, so I love this place right here. We're at the FMX jumps at Post Canyon. They call them the freestyle motocross jumps because they're kind of replicated after a freestyle motocross jump with the big, long, tall wood lips and big landings.
I know that there's a lot of dangers and things to be aware of in the sport.
Yes, yes. I have had my share of injuries that I've sometimes lose count, but I think the last time I counted them, I've had over 13 broken bones, blown both my knees out, numerous surgeries and whatnot, and it's a never-ending battle.
Great sport. I'm really stoked to be out here to, you know, test my skill against some of these big jumps.
Definitely. Let's see if we can get some scars on you.
All right, buddy, let's do this. Well, we've graduated from the beginner track to middle school, which is the name of this next track. And this is the link between intermediate and it'll get me up to the advanced level. It's got a lot of rollers and a big drop off at the end and can get very intense. So you've got some decks like this one right here. These are all built by people that just love this sport. And it goes into some rollers. It's kind of like the pump track to build up a little bit of speed, a little bit of embankment. I'm immediately feeling the benefits of my time on the pump track and the balance track, and we're taking on middle school at a controllable speed. To hit these trails and obstacles is intense, and the freedom you get on this bike is amazing. This is all literally just to get you warmed up to work your way through. It's like an education process. They get bigger and better, a little more extreme, until you can finally jump and clear some stuff. And then you get to the big daddy, the drop off. Whew. Now that is something that'll wake you up in the morning. Oh my gosh. You come up on this thing and it's a blind drop. You just come at it with enough speed that you know you can clear it. And this has a nice wood deck platform before the ramp, so if I don't make it to that mound of dirt right there, I can land on the wood. But the idea is to start clearing that gap so that when I go down to these other drop-offs where there's a section missing, I can clear the whole thing. But oh, I'm telling you, it gets your heart racing. You get that little bit of courage that I needed, and then you just go for it. Pop your tire, and you fly. It's like time stands still. And then once you hit it, whew, oh, there's nothing quite like that feeling. With one good run on middle school behind me, I want to hit this trail again, but with more speed and feel that free riding rush. Oh, my back. Hang on.
The Wildlife is presented by Next Adventure.
You all right?
Oh, God. Hang on. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh. I'm not feeling so hot. Okay.
What happened?
I got a little too cocky going over that last jump, and I jumped over the bridge and just landed on my front tire and lost control. I just went over the handlebars, landed on my head, and then just kind of went black for a little bit, and I just took a good tumble.
Follow that.
My spirit for adventure urged me to get back on my bike and go at it again, but my crew could tell that something just wasn't right. When you get any kind of head injury, it's best to get it looked at immediately. Well, Post Canyon definitely got the best of me today. After several runs down middle school, I decided to get a little bit cocky, and at the end, I hit this jump and went way too high. Came down on the front tire, endoed a little bit, slid for I don't know how too long, found myself on the ground. Got pretty banged up, hit my shoulder really hard and my hip, and definitely banged my head up. So I'm here at the hospital right now to make sure I'm not too concussed. I'm gonna go get some x-rays, gotta get a CAT scan, and then hopefully before too long I'll be back in business because I want a second shot at Post Canyon. Well, I'm all right.
I don't know. I gotta let the radiologist look at those. Are you taking them into X-ray?
Yeah. So for the first one, your arm can come across your abdomen there. That. And then over there.
Well, I got my final verdict in here. Minor concussion. A partial shoulder separation. As you can see right here, there's a gap where there shouldn't be a gap. Luckily for me, my hip is okay. I have no broken bones, so the doctor's orders are a couple weeks of rest, no physical activities, gotta let my brain heal, and then I'll be up and running, good to go. But the downside is I have to wear a sling and ice. Could have been a lot worse. But this is the wildlife. I'm ready to get out of the hospital. Gotta come back and conquer the track. Coming up on the wildlife.
The Wildlife is presented by Next Adventure.
Well, I got my final verdict from the doctor. I've got a partially separated shoulder,
I've got a minor concussion. Luckily, my hip is okay. It's just a bunch of deep bruising. No broken bones, so I have to take 2 weeks of rest to make sure my head and my shoulder are both recovered. But Post Canyon did not get the best of me. I'm gonna be back. Well, I'm back here at Post Canyon. I'm healed up and I'm ready to ride. When I came here the first time, my goal was to make my way from the beginner track or the pump track through the intermediate track, middle school, and make my way to the Big Daddy, dropout. Unfortunately, at the end of middle school, I had this really big jump, kind of overshot my landing. Completely took a tumble, ended up in the ER.
Feel on your right shoulder.
So I've had this track on my mind constantly. I can't just leave it here. I've got to come back and conquer the track that conquered me. So I came back a couple weeks ago to kind of scout out this thing and make my way from intermediate to advanced. And watching some guys do the advanced track, one of them took a tumble and ended up in the ER too. So this is a very serious course. It's very dangerous, but I'm not going to let that get in my way. I'm going to be victorious right now. Woo! Right now I'm just getting a feel for the track again. Woo! Woo! And here we are. This right here, that's where I wiped out last time I came here. So here I am. My goal was to go from the beginner track through the intermediate track or middle school and up to the advanced track, dropout. And I'm headed to dropout now. And this is why I came here, dropout. This is the Big Daddy track of all the tracks in here. Now, when I first came here, I did the pump track, I did middle school. Now it's time for me to graduate to the big leagues. And as you can see, this is a very dangerous route. It's an advanced track with big features. So what I have to do is generate enough speed going down this little ramp to clear the gap. Everything I've done so far has had a good, solid structure. It's always connected. But this one actually has a gap between the ramp and the landing. So I actually have to clear a hole. If I don't get enough speed, I'm gonna endo right into the ramp and end up in the ER again. So it's advanced, it's dangerous. That's why I'm here. This is the drop. This is the first drop on dropout. Do it. Not gonna lie, I'm really nervous. This is just one of those moments where a track like this has already injured me. You have to overcome that fear and then take it up a notch. Otherwise, it's always gonna be looming in the back of your head. Concussion. Shoulder separation. Shoulder separation. I'm gonna be back. Whoa! Oh my God. Woo! If you could feel what I'm feeling right now, the adrenaline coursing through my veins. What a rush. It's like all the way down that thing. It's like everything inside of you saying stop, 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 and you're just forcing right through that until the very last second and just popping right up. And then it's just instant. Everything just goes fast forward. Whew. And I made it. After conquering the trails at Post Canyon, we headed down the mountain to Hood River to get a tour and a taste of one of the area's best attractions. What says Hood River culture more than Full Sail Brewery? This place has been around for over 23 years and makes very delicious beer. So I'm gonna go inside and have a little chit chat with the brewmaster. I get to be Jason.
First up, the malt room.
So what the mill is going to do is it's going to shatter all the kernels.
There are 4 main ingredients to making beer: water, malt, hops, and yeast. First, you add your malt. Then you add your hops, which give each beer its signature flavor and aroma. Then it's time to take on the mash tun.
All right, well, this is the mash tun.
Every beer has its own mashing profile. Next up, fermentation. Yeast eats sugar and keeps reproducing, giving off alcohol and carbon dioxide, thus fermenting the beer. And then it's on to filtration, where the beer goes into the centrifuge so that it spins the yeast out of solution. And now it's on to packaging, where I get to enjoy a special treat.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, this has been amazing. I really appreciate it, Jamie. Thank you for bringing me through here.
Thank you, Jason.
What a process. Yeah, gotta be Jason for a day. What a process to go through this whole thing. It's amazing. And above all, I mean, it's just a fun thing to do. There's a whole science to it and artwork to it. It's been great. Thank you.
Great, well, thank you for coming.
Woo! Hey there, grandfather, it's me. Well, what can I say? Post Canyon was really extreme. You know, you're out there free riding and you're hitting these huge jumps, and you're pushing the boundaries of an extreme sport. But anytime you push yourself that hard, of course, there's consequences. Unfortunately, I had to suffer those consequences, but got back up on the bike, explored the beauty of Hood River, came to Full Sail and learned how to make beer from nothing. So, another one in the books, another lesson learned. Here's to you.
Yeah, that was not good.
The Wildlife is presented by Next Adventure.